It's Today in History. It is August 19th. When we do it live, folks, we do it late, which isn't a good idea for a Today in History. But we found somehow when we do them live, they do a little bit better than some of our other videos. How's it going, everybody? Happy Friday to you. We're going to be doing Friday Night Live on our sister channel tonight at 9 o'clock Atlantic time. Oops, the commercial's on for... This is the commercial for this. I put the volume down. Good with the security risk for older. Oh my God! You just crazy stuff I have to do here. Lower the volume. Hi, Melody R. Thank you for coming on. So, obviously, if you're into rock and roll and you're very serious about it, you would have figured out who we're talking about today on Today in History. Let's get at it. 1939, Ginger Baker, drummer for Cream, born Peter Edward Baker in South London, England. He died in 2019. He was 80 years old. He was quite a curmudgeon. He'd hit you if he didn't like what you said. He was in Cream with Jack Bruce. He was in Cream with Eric Clapton. Ginger Baker and Jack Bruce never really got along. They were never friends, even when they had a reunion a few years before he died. Eric Clapton told himself, I'd rather be doing something else than watching these two guys fight. And I don't think I'd want to spend more than 5 minutes with Jack Bruce, but I'd sure like to get a drumming lesson for him, so I guess I would. In interviews, he didn't suffer fools. I mean, he just hated the process of talking to someone. And for whatever reason, through some of the lifestyle he had or mental illness or it made no sense. And by the way he acted. So let's look at the fact that his fans who looked at him as one of the top 5 drummers in the world, his fans thought he was the best drummer in the world, influenced John Bonham, influenced so many people in so many different bands. So they put up with this kind of thing, and we live in society and have for the last 40 years. If someone's really good at something, we're willing, sports especially, we're willing to let go certain things. You separate the man from the art, the ultimate Bill Cosby thing, right? Sure, but he could be rude. Never ask Ginger Baker why he was called Ginger. That's just one. You'd see those eyes. See those eyes? That's what you'd get. He was almost deaf, by the way, when he died. Lots of hearing problems, but that's common for a lot of drummers of that ilk before they started using earpieces. My son's a drummer. He's always wearing earpieces. Of course, Baker followed Clapton to form another supergroup, Blind Faith, which didn't last long either. And there was just a lot of drama no matter where he went. There was a 2012 documentary, Beware of Mr. Baker. Jay Bulger did the video, and at one point, Baker hits Bulger and breaks his nose. I mean, you can see the video. Watch the video. Beware of Mr. Baker. It's sobering and it's scary, and it's a testament to a man who, I don't know what was wrong with him. I don't get it. There was something obviously off about him from the very beginning. You know, like people would say this about a lot of other rockers. You know, Lou Reed, a mercurial personality, a person who, when he was really nice, was really nice. When he wasn't, it was almost impossible to be around the person. Hey, you recognize this guy, Ian Gillen, English heavy metal rock singer, Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water, born in London. Hold on, let me check something here. Here. Oh, another gentleman that I love. Doom, doom, doom. John Deacon, British rock bassist for Queen, is born in England. Love this man. In 1959, Steve Grimmett, British heavy metal singer, Grim Reaper, born in Swindon, England. In 1963, Joey Tempest of Europe, member of the Final Countdown, was born. In 1972, Elizabeth Wolfgram, American singer for the Jets, is born in Utah. Got a lot more pictures coming up, but some of these, last night I did this tape last night. Then I got into the David Page thing, and I was completely torn off my game. Oh, there she is. She's brilliant. I think Christina Perri is quite a songwriter. American singer-songwriter, Jar of Hearts, born in Pennsylvania. Happy birthday to her. The new breed of singers now, as opposed to before, is very, very different. In 1979, Dorsey Burnett of Johnny Burnett and the Rock and Roll Trio dies of a massive coronary in California. She was, he or she, I'm not Dorsey, was 46, not familiar with the artist. In 2001, Betty Everett, who had the first hit with the Shoop Shoop song, which was the Cher song, dies at 61. There we go. In 2008, Dave Matthews Band saxophonist, arranger, Leroy Moore dies at the age of 46. He was injured in an ATV accident in Charlottesville, Virginia. I remember hearing the news of this and being, what? That's what happened with death, right? In 2010, Michael Breen, American rock singer, guitarist for The Call, dies of a heart attack. He was 60. In 2016, American record producer, fraudster Lou Pearlman. Man, that guy was a crook. But he did bring up, he dies at the age of 62 of a cardiac arrest. He brought up Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and a lot of other bands. He had that series. I remember watching it and thinking, oh, this is kind of interesting. But there was just something about the guy. I mean, I remember thinking, eesh. Look at those eyes. I remember doing his obituary in 2019. American bass guitarist Larry Taylor. He died at the age of 77 from canned heat from 67 on, and played with the Monkees and Jerry Lee Lewis. Losing a lot of people. Oh, Christina Perri, I didn't take you down. Hold on. That's the thing when you're doing something really live, you don't sometimes have a chance to press the right buttons. There you go. Where are we? There we go. Oh my God, the production value on this show is insane. 1967, The Beatles, All You Need Is Love, hits number 1, which stays there for 1 week. In 1972, I love this album. Chicago 5 was number 1 on the U.S. charts. Congratulations, boys. The Commodores. 1978, the Commodores started a 5-week run at number 1 in the UK singles chart with 3 Times a Lady. Elvis, 1988, Hound Dog is the most played song on jukeboxes. Congratulations, Elvis. Long time after you were around. And in 2008, the Fame, an album from Lady Gaga, is released. It was a Grammy Award winner for Album of the Year and Best Electronic Dance Album in 2009. And Events in Rock and Roll, there they are. It's Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. Appear on Dick Cavett in 69, talking about their Woodstock Festival. I mean, they were pumped because that was their first really big gig. Isn't that crazy? Woodstock. 1972, David Bowie played the first of 2 nights of the Rainbow Theatre in England on his current 182-date Ziggy Stardust World Tour. It's a big one. In 1981, Chris Lowe and Neil Tennant meet at an electronics shop in London and start a band called the Pet Shop Boys. 5 years later, they have a hit with West End Girls. Man, I love that song. Speaking of Lou Reed, 1989, Lou Reed falls and breaks his ankle at a sound check in Cleveland and has to cancel the whole tour. And I love her, I love her, I love her, I love her. I do love her. In 2014, Kate Bush requested fans do not take any photographs or record footage, using mobile devices for her upcoming 22-date run performances in London, England. I've never seen her. She's always had a fear of flying, so she didn't come to North America. I think she probably came, but by boat. I remember thinking she only said she'd come by boat, so I'm sure she came. But running up that hill, talk about another life for a lady. Well deserved. That's Today in History. Thank you for everyone who came on today. Hey, Darren, you're on today. Darren said, sorry to bug you today when he was... Darren, you never bugging me. You just passed me some information. I always appreciate that. By the way, though, if you send me links to other YouTubers or stuff, I never watch them because I just never get a chance to watch other people's. And I don't like being influenced by other people. Nothing. You didn't know that, so don't worry. But I never watch. I mean, Rick Beato, somebody will send me videos of him now and then. He's the best. Rick's the best, but I don't have time to watch him. Or any of the other folks who do similar to what I do. Rick Beato is more of a musician's point of view from what I do. Darren says, I saw Susan Jacks twice in concert, 2012, 2014. Afterwards, I met her in person, which is a great memory. It would have been her birthday today. Darren, I will put that down for the next time we do this. We're doing a Canadian one, by the way. We just haven't around to doing it. We have to do this one for a year, and we're almost 2 months into doing Today in History for Rock History Book, which is the worldwide version. But I wanted to do one for Canadian music only. So we'll get around to doing that because I'm compiling a lot of different dates right now. And if anyone has major dates for Canadians, wants to send me, wants to concentrate on one band, send me a whole bunch of dates. Their album was released on this date and the band members were born on this date or anything, feel free to do it. It's John Beaudin at iCloud.com. So thank you, Melody and Darren, for coming on. It's a weird time because it's Friday afternoon and in the East here. So we know we don't have a lot of people on right now. Boy, I appreciate you all. And remember, if you want to support the channels, there are links in the description of this video. We'll be back tomorrow for August 20th. And we're working on another birthday feature, which I think you'll like because people get a little melancholy and they like to look back at their past and what they did in their past, especially when it's their birthday. So we're working on that. Shannon's working on it right now. So take care of yourself. We'll be back tomorrow. It's John Beaudin from Rock History Book.